games down, one more to go. And we're live inside the UP Diliman University Training Center. Again, we're in our 5 p.m. showdown. And a while ago, we actually had a match between the UST Growling Tigers and the St. Clair Saints, where fortunately, Colin Zakowe and UST was able to escape and advance to the next round of our NSAC 2026. So that is our game. Again, 3 games have already transpired in our UP Diliman University Training Center, but we shift our focus to our 5 p.m. showdown. The visiting Adamson Soaring Falcons will be facing the UP Fighting Maroons. So a very happy Mother's Day to everybody, collegiate basketball fans. We're live inside the UP Diliman University Training Center for another day. Actually, it's the last game of our round of 16 phase in our National Student Athletes Championship, or the NSAC 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour. My name is Chola Pangilinan, and I'll be guiding you throughout the action of this game between UP and Adamson as we take a look at our tournament bracket. Again, on the left side of our bracket, it's NEU, Letran, and San Beda advancing to our quarterfinals. And on the right side of our bracket, it's UST, Ateneo, LaSalle, and FEU advancing to the quarterfinals. So that is our tournament bracket after the round of 16 games. So we have one more, so whoever wins this one will be facing the NU Bulldogs in our quarterfinals. So it should be a good one. Again, we still have a lot of games, still quite a long journey before we crown a champion in our tournament. And speaking of the team that will battle it out today, of course, first let's talk about the Adamson Soaring Falcons. And of course, their numbers before the round of 16. Again, not the most efficient team, not the most deadly team when it comes to different parts of the floor, but they've been very capable of delivering things, doing things. Their players were able to deliver things that you cannot see in the stat sheet, the intangibles, if I may say so. Again, they've been able to rack up decent numbers. Again, not the best, not the most eye-popping numbers for them, but Ray Allen Torres and Adamson has been able to prove that despite not being the most flashy team, whether visually or on paper, they're able to tough it out. They're able to go toe-to-toe with the best of the best. As we can see, Ray Allen Torres averaging close to 7 points per game, shooting close to 30%, and shooting close to 86% from the free throw line. Also chipping in 2 rebounds and close to 1.5 dimes. So definitely Ray Allen Torres. As you can see, last year AP season, he was able to deliver a couple of clutch shots. And again, we're live inside the UP Diliman University Training Center. That is the team that they'll be going up against, the UP Fighting Maroons. And talking about UP, their averages before the round of 16, their numbers. Again, this is UP. You know, they were the first runner-up in last UAAP season 88. So definitely, when it comes to the numbers, you can expect that it's going to be high level. It's going to be high quality. It's going to be A grade. But more than that, their ability to close out games, to really secure the win, to really secure the dub. And of course, really just show why they are, again, one of the most, or arguably the most successful college program here in not only the Philippines, of course, but arguably in Asia. So right now, let's take a look at our player to watch out for. It's Ray Remogat, averaging close to 13 points per game. Again, to no one's surprise, he's averaging these numbers, shooting close to 40%, shooting 100% from the free throw line, close to 4 rebounds. So again, that is Ray Remogat for you. And he's going to be one of the main gunners that you'll watch out for UP. And for the starting 5, let's not waste any more time. For the Soaring Falcons, it's Torres, Edding, Medina, Barcelona, Perez. That is your 5 for Coach Nash Rosella and the Adamson Soaring Falcons. And for the UP Fighting Maroons, it's Remogat, Baila, Iniguez, Pre, and Stevens. So that's going to be quite a 5 for UP. It's going to be a challenge for Adamson. A good thing for UP, for Adamson. UP is not going to start their foreign student athlete, Francis Noruka. So maybe a chance for Adamson to really, run down the floor, proceed to a run and gun type of play, at least for the few minutes, while UP is without or with the absence of their foreign student athlete. So once again, this is their last game of our round of 16 phase here in our NSAC 2026, and whoever wins this one will be facing the NU Bulldogs in our next round, as first dibs belong to Ray Allen Torres and the Adamson Soaring Falcons. As Perez has it outside, he's looking for options, gives it up to Torres. Torres attacks the lane, shifting gears, and is able to get the first basket of our game and for the Adamson Soaring Falcons. So let's see how UP will respond. As that is no good from downtown. Couple of activities here between Pre and Perez inside the paint. But I believe Adamson will be getting called for that one. That's going to be the first team foul of the Soaring Falcons this period. Remogat searching for an option, taken away by Adamson. Here comes Medina, forwards it to Ray Allen Torres. Torres, difficult shot, won't go in, rebound pulled down by Stevens, and here comes Remogat. Forward pass, Iniguez, baseline drive, the bump. Almost lost it, sends it outside. Remogat, no look pass inside to VJ Pre. What a connection for the UP Fighting Maroons as they scored their first basket of this game. As Medina swings it to the other side, to the corner, Barcelona. He's looking for a teammate. Torres asks for it, he gets it, he fires one, but he's gonna miss. So first 3 shots of the Adamson Soaring Falcons, all attempted by Ray Allen Torres. Seems like he's got the green light coming from Coach Nash Racela. Meanwhile, Remogat surveying the court, gives it up to Baila. Left corner pass, baseline drive by VJ Pre, and the reverse is in for VJ Pre. First 4 points of UP scored by VJ Pre. As Edding attacks the lane, Edding gets denied, but wait a minute, we have a goaltending call coming from our officials, so that basket will indeed count, as we'll take another look in this VJ Pre attack, abusing his height advantage and exploiting the disadvantage of Joshua Barcelona that time around. Meanwhile, it's Pre and UP. Stevens hands it off to Remogat. Ray, tough shot, goes in anyway. And that is what Ray Remogat likes. Tough shots and tough buckets. Giving UP a 2-point lead here, 6-4. Torres using the pick from Perez. Left wing pass to the corner, it's Edding. Shot clock at 7. Torres going to work. Torres inside. Barcelona quickly puts it up and puts it in. And great presence of mind coming from Joshua Barcelona. As we have a tied game at 6. Safe to say Adamson is aware on what kind of opponent they're facing today, as Remogat able to fish for a foul from downtown. So he's going to be shooting 2 free throws, and that's going to be the second team foul of Adamson this period. Again, 3 free throws for Ray Remogat, but he will miss his first one. But still has 2 more, still a chance to give UP here the lead. Second free throw, still no good for Ray Remogat. So perhaps this is one advantage for Adamson. I'm sure they'll be hoping more misses, not only from Remogat, but for the rest of the UP team. As Remogat will be shooting his 3rd free throw. And he'll go 0 out of 3. So a rare empty trip for Ray Remogat that time around, but let's see how Adamson will take advantage of that fact. Inside find, Barcelona. Good intention coming from Edding, and good catch coming from Joshua Barcelona. Unable to make the basket, but he's going to be shooting 2 free throws here. So we have some substitutions from both of our squads. So let's see if these pieces coming from Coach Nash from Adamson and coming from Coach Gold of UP can make some difference. Again, Coach Gold, Monteverde, previously seen on your screens. He's a cerebral coach, to say the least. As Barcelona goes 1 out of 2, so Adamson now up by 1. Score is 7-6. Adamson defending this UP possession. Remogat stops and scores. And Ray Remogat once again delivering the goods for UP. Gives them a 1-point lead. Pacquiao from downtown, that is off the mark. Medina gets it back for Adamson. Medina searches for Tumaning. Jaire Tumaning against Sean Alter. Almost a steal. Artango has 3 to shoot. Gives it up to Medina. Fadeaway 3 on its way. That is no good. Pre gets it, quickly forwards it. Remogat inside to Iniguez. And a basket for UP in transition. Artango for Adamson. Forwards it to his teammate. No good from Pacquiao. Alter almost lost it. Picked up by VJ Pre. UP up by 3 now. A chance to extend it. But Pre will step on the brakes. Remogat and UP will reset. The screen provided by Alter. Iniguez to the right wing. Now driving inside. Baila loses it. Picked up by Pacquiao. Artango this time falls to the floor. But Adamson recovers. Artango on the left wing. Artango against Remogat. He picks up his dribble. Gives it up to Barcelona. Back to Artango. Shot clock at 6 for the Soaring Falcons. Artango to Barcelona. He'll try a 3. That is way off. As UP now will try to take advantage. Alter inside. Alter scoring at the break. UP now up by 2 possessions. 5 points to be precise. As Artango has it against the much bigger Iniguez. He gives it up to Pacquiao. This time it's Tumaning. Back to Pacquiao. He'll take a 3 and he puts it in. Adamson hitting a much needed shot to inch closer to UP. So it's now 12-10. It's down to a 1 possession lead for the Fighting Maroons. As we'll take another look. Again, Miguel Iniguez a while ago in transition, able to score a basket. And then almost the same sequence, but this time it was Sean Alter contributing 2 points for the Fighting Maroons. But Noah Pacquiao on the other side of the floor, able to give 3 points to the Soaring Falcons. So right now UP up by 2 points. Meanwhile, Remogat, tough shot, able to draw another foul. And he's going to be shooting 2 free throws here. So we're nearing the 5-minute mark of our opening quarter. Another trip here for Ray Remogat. A while ago he went 0 out of 3. But a good chance to get in rhythm and practice his form. So far Remogat has 4 points in this game. Same goes with Pre. Iniguez has 2 and Alter has 2 as well. Second free throw on its way for Ray Remogat. Adamson with no more fouls to give. Remogat will go 1 out of 2. UP only at 1 team foul. And Andy Himao in the house. Previously suited up for UP in this tournament, but committed to Penn State in the NCAA Division I basketball. So that's something to look forward to for Andy Himao and for the rest of our country. As right now, Adamson missing a basket. Everybody going for the basketball, but it ends up with Ray Remogat. Remogat, the pick from Alter. He'll try a 3 and he misses, but Sean Alter was there to clean things up. Alter makes it a 5-point advantage for the Fighting Maroons. Erolon. Artango. Back to Erolon. He'll try a 3. Short for Matt Erolon. And Remogat tracks down the rebound. Oh, wait a minute. A double dribbling violation for Ray Remogat. So Adamson able to get back to possession. And you see a substitution here. So it's Payosing and Poyos checking in for UP. Same goes with Chico Briones. You also see Gabriel Lobusan check in for Noah Pacquiao. And Zahir Sahili too. Same goes with Precious Jonas, so a lot of substitutions Let's see if these players can make a difference here. Jonah gives it up to Obusan. Corner triple. No good. Pre gets it for UP. VJ Pre in transition. Gives it up to Payosing. James inside the VJ. Too easy for the Fighting Maroons. And the chemistry is on point for UP. Meanwhile, Erolon able to draw a foul. He's going to be shooting 2 free throws. So we'll check it out one more time. Again, Payosing, unselfish pass to his fellow newcomer, VJ Pre. But this time around, it's Matt Erolon shooting 2 free throws. As Adamson right now is down by 7 points. And against a UP team, they cannot be too complacent, even though it's just our first quarter. Although first free throw won't go in for Matt Erolon. Second free throw on its way for the sharp shooting guard of Coach Nash Racela. 1 out of 2 for Erolon, makes it a 6-point game as Francis Noruca finally checks in for UP. Poyos. Quick first step here. Poyos, outside dish, taken away by Obusan. Adamson with the possession. Obusan against Poyos. Erolon on the right side. Sahili attacks. Sahili, no good on the reverse. Everybody going for it. Alter ends up with it as Payosing handles it for UP. Payosing, the pick from Noruca. Payosing inside, and he's gonna draw the foul. So James Payosing will be shooting 2 free throws here, as Adamson didn't have any more fouls to give. A chance to extend the 6-point lead for UP. Again at the line, it's former Red Lion, James Payosing. First one goes in. Second free throw coming up for James Payosing. This is his first points of the game. Payosing goes 2 out of 2 and makes it an 8-point lead for the Fighting Maroons as we have a timeout here called by Coach Nash Racela. We have over 3 minutes left to play in our first quarter. Back inside a UP Diliman Varsity Training Center. We have over 3 minutes left to play in our first quarter in this match between UP and Adamson, where the Fighting Maroons is currently leading by 8 points, 19-11. So right now, possession with the Soaring Falcons. So let's see what they have in mind as Erolon is hounded by Poyos here. Erolon having a hard time but able to cross half court. Erolon hands it off to Obusan. Franzman. This time Sahili. Back to Franzman. The pick from Jonah. Franzman attacks. Franzman off the window. It works for AJ Franzman. as lead is trimmed down to 6 points. Bayusing hands it off. Alter almost lost it. Alter, and is able to draw the foul. So we'll take one more look. A while ago, it was AJ Franzman challenging the defense of Sean Alter and able to generate 2 points for Adamson. But on the other side, it's Sean Alter, a chance to answer back with his own 2 points, but this time from the free throw line. As first one rattles in for Sean Alter. That is his 5th point of the game, along with 3 rebounds. Alter will go 1 out of 2. So here comes Franzman and Adamson. They're down by 7 points. Erolon, the pick from Jonah. To the corner, Franzman. He attacks. And a foul downstairs called on Chico Briones. So that's going to be the 3rd team foul of UP this period. So shot clock is reset to 14 for Adamson. Erolon receives it outside. The pick from Jonah. Erolon to Jonah. Inside find. Sahili steps out of bounds. So he'll turn the ball over to UP. Excellent defense coming from the Fighting Maroons. Noruka to Poyos. Poyos and the UP setting up a play. They're up by 7 points, a chance to extend it. Payosing stops, gives it up to Noruka. Noruka inside the paint. Fades away. Easy 2 for Francis Noruka. Using the height advantage against Zahir Sahili. So it's now a 9-point lead for UP. Obusan to Erolon. The pick from Jonah gives it up to Obusan. Obusan loses it. Taken away by Chico Briones. In transition, he gives it up to Alter. 2 points in transition for the UP Fighting Maroons. Lead is now at 11 points. Officially a double-digit lead now for the UP Fighting Maroons. Jonah, top of the key, goes left, puts one up, and Alter getting called for the foul. As we'll take a look one more time, a while ago it was Chico Briones taking away the rock, giving it to Sean Alter, and Alter completing the play in transition for the Fighting Maroons. And you can see the crowd here in our UP Diliman Varsity Training Center. Of course, the home court of our Fighting Maroons, but we're also seeing some visiting Soaring Falcons fans all the way from San Marcelino. The 2 free throws coming up for Precious Jonah, as UP is now up by 11 points and they need these free throws. However, first one unfortunately won't go in for Precious Jonah, but he has 1 more left. Jonah goes 1 out of 2. Lead is at 10 points for UP. Poyos against Edding. He brings it down. Poyos attacks. Drops it inside. Palanca will miss. Noruka puts it back in. Francis Noruka with plan B, giving UP a 12-point lead here as the Misana hands it off to Edding. Palanca picking up Edding. This time it's Noruka guarding Matt Edding. But we have a whistle here. So RV Poyos getting called for a reach. So penalty freebies will be given here to Kobe Demisana. Again, Adamson need points here as they're down by double digits. 12 points to be exact. First free throw won't go in for Kobe Demisana. Our score 26-14. Second free throw here for Kobe Demisana. And he'll go 1 out of 2. Lead is at 11 points again. Poyos and UP with the possession. Poyos falling to the floor. Meanwhile, Briones from downtown, it won't go in. Franzman losing it to Noruka. UP once again with a chance. Noruka outside the Briones. Briones settles for a mid-range jumper. That goes in for Chico Briones. Lead is at 13 points for the Fighting Maroons. But we have a whistle here. So Coach Nash Racela getting teed up here. So as he was caught entering the playing court in that Adamson possession. So technical free throw here will be given to Chico Briones. As UP is now up by 13 points and Briones able to extend it. So Lee is now at 14 points and Briones has 3 points in the bag. So right now Torres and Adamson will try to figure things out on offense. Torres to Demisana. He's hounded by Noruka on the corner. Outside, oh, it's taken away by Payosing. In transition, James Payosing. Oh my goodness! Way to put it back in is Francis Noruka. And that extends this UP lead to 16 points. Not a good position for the Soaring Falcons. Torres to the corner, Demisana. Long two, no foul call. Jonah gets it back and he puts it in for easy two. And that's gonna conclude our first quarter. It's 31-17. The UP Fighting Maroons able to earn themselves a 14-point lead after the first 10 minutes of action here in the NSAC 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour. And don't go anywhere, we'll be proceeding shortly to our second quarter. So far, it's a 14-point lead for the homeowners, 31-17. And leading the charge for them is Sean Alter with 7 points. On the other side, Barcelona, Jonah, and Pacquiao each has 3 points. That's for the Soaring Falcons. So let's see if Adamson is able to initiate a run here that's able to inch them closer to UP. Again, currently it's not the best situation for the Soaring Falcons. A 14-point deficit. And of course, they will have to contain the force that is Francis Noruka. It's going to be a tough job for the young, precious Jonah of Adamson. Right now, first dibs of our second quarter belonging to the Fighting Maroons, as Remogat has it against Edding. Remogat goes to the right side. Edding quickly hounds him. Remogat. Oh, taken away by Edding. Good defense at the perimeter for Matt, Edding, and Adamson. The Soaring Falcons a chance to score the first point of our second quarter. But we have a foul called on the UP. That is the first team foul of the Fighting Maroons this period. So shot clock is at 15 seconds for Adamson. They'll have a baseline inbound. Torres will try to find his teammates. Finds Jonah. Jonah, good fake. And good showcase of patience coming from Precious Jonah, scoring the first basket of our second quarter. Outside it's Remogat. Palanca hands it off to Payosing. But that's going to be a turnover for UP. So a good string of sequences for Adamson to start our second quarter. But they will have to do it consistently against this high-quality UP team. Medina to Torres. Torres using the pick from Jonah. Back to Medina, back to Torres. He'll try a three. Real Torres short on that long ball. As Remogat gives it up to Ogana. And that's going to be counted for Russell Ogana, as it's a goaltending call for the Adamson Soaring Falcons. As we'll check it out one more time again, Ogana scoring 2 points despite Jonah blocking it because it was deemed a goaltending call by our officials. As right now we're seeing for the first time this game Jacob Baila. Him and Russell Ogana seeing action for the first time this contest. As Edding hands it off to Torres. This time it's Medina. Medina, the pick from Jonah. Medina attacks. And that's going to be a foul downstairs for UP. That's going to be their second team foul. Although it's still a 14-point lead for UP. So Adamson will have to score a basket here and play some defense. As Edding using the pick from Jonah. Matt Edding hands it off to Perez. Unable to sink that floater. As right now it's Remogat. No look pass inside to Noruka. That's going to be another turnover for UP. So Adamson better take advantage of these moments. You better take advantage while UP is not yet able to find their rhythm, at least for the first 2 minutes of our second quarter. As Jarl Artango checks in for the Soaring Falcons. Artango against the much bigger Jacob Baila. Artango having a hard time, hands it off to Medina. Medina, the pick from Jonah. Medina, the handoff here to Torres. Another pick from Jonah. This time it's Artango once again. Artango, they have one to work with. Medina from downtown. That won't work. Coach Nash not happy with that sequence from his Adamson boys. Meanwhile, Ogana forcing the issue and puts it in. 4 points in this game for Russell Ogana. As Perez has it. Alan Perez finds Earl Medina outside. This time it's Jarl Artango. Jonah providing him the pick. Artango able to draw the foul against Ogana. So that's going to be the third team foul of Russell Ogana this period. So Sean Franco replaces him. Artango gives it up to Ray Allen Torres. The pick from Baila. Correction, that was Jonah, and it was Baila picking him up. But this time it's Medina. Back to Torres, back to Medina. Torres puts up a three. Still nothing for Ray Allen Torres. And they get it back. Precious Jonah slams it home for the Adamson Soaring Falcons. And who knows, it may be a sign of good things to come for Adamson. Right now, the momentum is on their side. As Palanca gives it off to Remogat. High pass to Palanca, but we have a foul called on Adamson. Let's check it out one more time. Again, it was Jonah a while ago slamming it home for the Adamson Soaring Falcons. Who knows, that might be the momentum they need to inch closer to this UP team. Pre has it, gives it up to Baila. Jacob Baila pulls back, he's up against Alan Perez. Baila puts one up, and that's going to be a foul on the Soaring Falcons. So 2 free throws will be given to the very pesky defender Jacob Baila. That looks to be working on his offensive bag in the offseason, so expect more touches from him come season 89 of the UAAP. But right now it's Jacob Baila at the free throw line. As UP is down by 14, or up by 14 points, and make it 16. To make it 15. As we have 3 minutes passing by our second chapter. And Baila will go 1 out of 2. Nonetheless, it's a 15-point lead for the Fighting Maroons as Aratango is double-teamed, but he finds Barcelona inside, although Barcelona couldn't complete the basket. So a missed opportunity here for the Adamson Soaring Falcons as Noah Pacquiao checks in for Earl Medina. So it's 36-21. A 15-point lead for the Fighting Maroons as Alan Perez checks in for Precious Jonah. Meanwhile, VJ Pre has it, almost lost it, gives it up to Baila on the right side. Baila inside fine. Tapped away by Adamson, but our officials talking things over and they quickly replace the call. So Adamson will be getting the possession after all as they're down by 15 points. A good chance for them to trim the deficit here. As Artango has it against Baila. Pacquiao to Artango. Perez providing the screen here. Artango to Erolon. Erolon from 3. No good. Ends up with Sean Franco. Gives it up to Ray Remogat. Tapped away by Erolon. Pacquiao retrieves it for Adamson. Artango pulls up, fades away. No good for Jarl Artango. But we have a foul called on UP. So Adamson will be retaining possession here. So Gani Stevens getting called for that foul. That's going to be the last foul to give of UP this period. But we still have over 6 minutes left to play. So maybe a good angle for Adamson to take a look into. Again, the crowd here in the UP Diliman Varsity Training Center enjoying the last match of our round of 16 phase in the NSAC 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour. As Adamson has 9 to shoot. Erolon, sidestep, 2-pointer in and out. Barcelona gets denied by Pre. Another try here. And we have a whistle coming from our officials. So it's De Guzman getting fouled a while ago. And will be shooting 2 free throws here. First free throw no good for De Guzman. Second free throw on its way. Again, Adamson needs some points here. And still nothing for De Guzman. Although he'll have a redo of his second free throw. As Adamson will have to get points whenever and however they can. And still nothing for Charles De Guzman, although Barcelona gets it. Pacquiao from downtown. No good for Pacquiao. Barcelona gets it back and he's denied again. This time by Sean Franco. So stellar inside defense coming from UP for the past couple of sequences for Adamson. Meanwhile, Pacquiao has it. Gives it up to the corner. Erolon attacks the lane. Erolon finds 2 points off that baseline drive. So lead is trimmed down to 13 points. But it's still big here. And UP can extend. Remogat on the right side of the arc. The screen coming from Pre. Remoga to the other side of the court. Baila able to knock down the three. VJ Pre able to out-rebound his opponent, but a foul is called against Adamson. So it's called on Joshua Barcelona. And in attendance is UEAP Season 88 Women's Volleyball Tournament MVP, Shaina Nitura, supporting her alma mater, the Adamson Soaring Falcons. She received the MVP award just yesterday. So hopefully Adamson, their men's basketball team, is able to gain a win against UP, as everybody diving for that basketball, bodies on the floor, but possession will go to the Soaring Falcons. Score is 36-23 as we're nearing the 5-minute mark of our second chapter. It's still a double-digit lead for UP, but it's not yet the end of the world for Adamson. We still have a lot of time, but of course they will have to figure things out quickly, as they cannot afford to rile up such a big deficit against this UP squad. Perez, no good at the teardrop. Ends up with Remogat. He gives it up to VJ Pre. Looking for the handoff, but will send it inside instead to Baila. And we have another foul on the Soaring Falcons. So that's going to be the last foul to give of the Adamson Soaring Falcons this period. So both teams now exhausting their fouls to give. And 2 freebies will be given to Jacob Baila. In attendance is UP Sports Director, Coach Bo Perasol. Of course, was a former head coach of the UP Fighting Maroons, but has now taken, for the past few years, have taken a bigger leadership role in the athletics office of the UP Fighting Maroons. First free throw was up for Baila, and he'll go 1 out of 2. Lead is extended to 14 points now. Adamson still down by double digits, but let's see if they can find some kind of momentum here, as Erolon tried to send it inside to Jonah, but that's a kickball violation called against UP. As we have Chico Briones checking in for Jacob Baila, and Francis Naruka checking in for Sean Alter. So another tough task for Precious Jonah to defend Francis Naruka. 37-23 is our score. It's a 14-point advantage for the Fighting Maroons, as we have over 4 minutes left to play in our second quarter. Erolon searching for a teammate, finds Torres way outside. Erolon settles for a mid-range jumper. That won't work for Adamson, but it goes out of bounds as Briones and Naruka had miscommunication that time around. So Adamson able to dodge a bullet. A redo here for the Soaring Falcons. Torres searching for some daylight. Franzman back to Torres. He'll fire a 3. Still nothing for Torres. Pacquiao gets it back, although it's taken away by UP. At the break, here comes UP. Franco, no good from downtown. Here comes Adamson. Their chance to produce on the offensive side of the floor again. Pacquiao to Torres. Goes to the corner. Erolon. The pick from Jonah. Erolon for 3. Still nothing for the Soaring Falcons. Although Franzman tried to get it back, but UP able to control the possession here. Briones hands it off. Naruka providing a pick here for Remogat, but it's taken away by Torres. Ray Allen Torres in transition. Settles for an elbow jumper, and it goes in for Ray Allen Torres. That is his 4th point of the game, and Coach Nash will be needing much more of those, as UP will call a timeout here. They're up by 12 points, 37-25, with Over 3 minutes left to play in our second chapter. In attendance is Adamson Soaring Falcon, Joaquin Haimalin, supporting his teammates. And I'm sure he's hoping that they're able to steal a win here against the very stacked UP Fighting Maroons. But that's going to be a tough task. Good thing they still have a lot of time left, as they're down by 12 points. Very manageable. No need to panic if you're Coach Nash Rosella and the Adamson boys. But right now, we have over 3 minutes left to play in our second chapter. UP with a chance to extend this 12-point lead. But a while ago, it was Ray Allen Torres scoring a 2-point elbow jumper off the break. Again, Torres so far has 4 points only in this game, but I'm sure Coach Nash Rosella is expecting more production from him. Poyos with the basketball. Crossover move against Edding. Poyos the fake. Poyos puts one up. That is no good. Good defense from Edding. But that's going to be a bad pass coming from AJ Franzman, as Torres was unable to catch it properly in a missed opportunity here for Adamson. Again, against a UP team, it's going to be quite difficult for Adamson to commit those kinds of mistakes, as Poyos has it on the left side. He attacks, gives it up to VJ Pre. Another 2-point basket here for the UP Fighting Maroons. VJ Pre so far has 6 points or 8 points in this game. To the corner, Torres being hounded by Briones, but a pick given by Jonah. Torres to Franzman, he'll try a three. Franzman, that's off to the left. Edding gets it back for Adamson. Torres, 15-footer. That works for Ray Allen Torres. 6 points in this game for the sharp-shooting Soaring Falcon of Coach Nash Rosella. Lead is trimmed down to 12 points again. VJ Pre going to work. VJ Pre, turnaround jumper. That's money for VJ Pre. So it's back to a 14-point game, and UP able to respond with whatever Adamson has been putting out. Torres to Edding, the right side of the arc. Edding, good hesitation. He will attack and he will score off the window. Left hand finish for Matt Edding, so it's back to a 12-point game. That was the first basket of Matt Edding. Meanwhile, Briones unable to put in that jumper, but he'll get it back. And he gives it to VJ Pre. Basket and one. What a sequence for the UP Fighting Maroons. And the hustle is being showcased here by VJ Pre. Able to track down that rebound coming from the miss of Chico Briones. A while ago, it was 2 points also for him. He also had a turnaround jumper a while ago off that fake. But we also saw Matt Edding on the other side score over the much bigger Francis Noruka. So a lot of sequences here for both of our squads, but so far they've been going back and forth. So lead is at 14 now. And VJ Pre makes it a 15-point lead for UP. So again, Adamson has been going back and forth against the first runners-up of the UAAP. But meanwhile, Zahir Zahidi and Adamson able to steal a basket here and trims down this lead to 13 points. But it's still double digits in favor of UP. So Adamson will have to defend this possession. VJ Pre against Sahili. VJ outside to Briones. Chico, no good on that left side attack. Meanwhile, Erolon against Alter. Erolon going to work. Erolon the fake. Denied by Sean Alter. And Alter able to secure the rebound. As here comes Poyos and company. Poyos attacks. Poyos. No good. But that basket won't count, coming from Sean Franco. As we have a foul called on the Fighting Maroons. So that's going to give Adamson some penalty free throws here. Our score is 44-31. 13-point lead here for the Fighting Maroons as we have under a minute left to play in our second chapter. The Fighting Maroons able to maintain this double-digit lead they once earned in our first quarter. And for Adamson, again, against a UP team, they cannot afford to just go back and forth, of course, with their opponents leading by double digits. They will have to play defense, and at the same time, they will have to convert easy baskets on the other side. But that's going to be easier said than done. So it's going to be interesting to see who steps up for the Soaring Falcons. Obviously, Ryan Torres is being given the green light by the coaches of Adamson. But so far, he only has 6 points in this game. So far for them, it has been Precious Jonah leading the charge with 7 points. As we take another look on what exactly happened. A lot of contact, a lot of bodies inside the paint. Some Soaring Falcons and Fighting Maroons fighting for the basketball. So it looks like penalty free throws will be given to Earl Medina and the Adamson Soaring Falcons. As Edding checks in for Ray Allen Torres. Again, Medina is at the line. Penalty free throws for Adamson. And I'm sure they're desperate for points here. As Medina will miss that first free throw. Again, under a minute left to play in our second quarter. So Adamson will try to trim this down to a much more manageable lead before we enter our halftime period. Second free throw coming up for Earl Medina. So it looks like Medina will be taking 3 free throws here, as this will be his third one. That's gonna go in for Earl Medina. So lead is at 11 points. One more basket and they can trim this down to just a single-digit deficit. But of course they will have to defend this possession. It's Payosing handling the basketball but gives it up to Poyos. They set up the play for the Fighting Maroons. Briones gives it up to Alter up top. The handoff to Payosing. Payosing searching for a teammate. Payosing, left corner pass to Pre. Shot clock at 1. Payosing from downtown. That is off the mark. Everybody going for the basketball, but it ends up with Matt Edding. 11 seconds remaining. Adamson will have to use the time here. Edding against Alter. Inside to Jonah. He puts one up. And that's going to be a traveling violation. And that's going to conclude our first 20 minutes of action in our NSAC 2026 round of 16 phase. It's currently 44-33, an 11-point lead for the UP Fighting Maroons. So it's a double-digit lead for UP, but if you're Adamson, you'll take that 11-point lead any time of the day, as it's very much manageable. You still have 20 minutes after this one. So of course, hold on to your seats and wait for our second half action only here in the NSAC 2026. back inside the UP Diliman Varsity Training Center for the last game of our round of 16 phase here in the National Student Athletes Championship 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour. Once again, the UP Fighting Maroons able to lead by double digits both at the ends of our first and second quarters. So that has been the kind of game for UP. Again, this is UP. They were the first runners-up of our last UAAP Season 88 men's basketball tournament. And of course, Adamson, an underrated collegiate basketball program in the UAAP. So it's a very interesting UAAP versus UAAP matchup. But looking at our halftime statistics, UP obviously shooting much more efficiently, whether it's from inside, from outside, inside the paint, or from downtown. They're able to grab more rebounds and able to circulate the ball more on offense, grabbing 11 assists compared to 6 only of Adamson. But perhaps the two most important categories for UP right now, their inside presence, able to gather 5 blocks compared to none of Adamson and score 12 points at the break compared to only 4 of Adamson. And I believe that's thanks to the size advantage of the UP Fighting Maroons. So whether it's at the break, whether it's inside defense, they have the likes of Sean Alter, Francis Naruca, VJ Pre, Migs Enriquez, Sean Franco as well, getting a block a while ago too. So they have the big bodies necessary to really lock the gate inside the paint and prevent Adamson from really getting any kind of momentum. But speaking of Adamson, it has been Precious Jonah, their FSA, doing the work for them with 7 points. Torres has 6, adding 4. But on the other side of the court, it has been that kind of game for VJ Pre. 13 big points for him so far, followed by 7 points coming from Sean Alter. And of course, Francis Naruca, 6 points with a very emphatic slam a while ago. So again, the UP Fighting Maroons, business as usual for them, delivering the goods in their home court, the UP Diliman Varsity Training Center. So I'm sure Adamson, entering today's game, know that it's going to be a challenge for them. Not only are they facing, again, the first runners-up of UAAP Season 88, but they're going to be facing them in their home court. So the visiting Soaring Falcons will have to figure things out for the next 20 minutes of action. Again, this is the last game of our round of 16, as in the previous weekends we've been able to conduct the games in our round of 16 phase. Of course, NU, Letran, San Beda, UST, Ateneo, DLSU, and FEU advance to our quarterfinals phase. So should be a good one. Whoever wins this matchup will be facing the NU Bulldogs in our quarterfinals. And on the other side of the bracket, it's going to be Letran and San Beda going at it. Two NCAA rivals. Of course, Ateneo and UST also going at it. And LaSalle and FEU battling also in our quarterfinals phase. So should be a good couple of games in our tournament, but we're still far from the finish. It's still very unpredictable who will be crowned the champions of our NSAC 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour. But for now, we'll be shifting our focus to some third quarter action between Adamson and UP, with the Soaring Falcons getting the first possession of our third quarter, as Medina able to score the first 2 points of our third quarter. Remogat has it for UP. Danny Stevens hands it off to VJ Pre, who has 13 points so far this game. VJ Pre sends it out, taken away by Medina. Here comes Adamson in transition. Torres, 3 on its way, that's no good. Rebound picked up by Remogat. Ray Remogat trying to find some daylight. Remogat, VJ Pre, baseline drive, hands it off. Stevens unable to catch it. Tapped away by Sahili. Possession will stay with the UP Fighting Maroons. But good inside defense nevertheless for Adamson. As Remogat has it. Enriquez, fadeaway jumper. Tough shot goes in for Migs Enriquez. As lead us back to 11 points for the UP Fighting Maroons. So both teams scoring their first field goals in the first minute of our third chapter. Heading to Jonah. Beautiful two-man play here for the Adamson Soaring Falcons. And I'm sure Coach Nash Racela will need more of those, as Baila will miss that turnaround lay-in. It's only a 9-point lead for UP now. Edding, backing down Remogat. Edding. Outside to Torres, the handoff to Medina. The screen coming from Jonah. Jonah inside the paint. And a foul called on Iniguez. So good ball movement coming from Adamson that time around. And they're able to draw a foul against UP. That's going to be the first team foul of the Fighting Maroons this period. So 14 to shoot here for Adamson, as Torres has it at the baseline. Sahili against Iniguez, tapped away, but Sahili recovers it. Outside it's Medina. It's a pick from Jonah. Medina will reject it. Medina will shoot to fade away. And that is no good from Medina. And good perimeter defense coming from UP, forcing a bailout shot coming from Earl Medina. So UP can make it once again a double-digit lead for themselves as Iniguez fires a three. No good. Stevens gets it back. Gani Stevens tried to pass it to Jacob Baila, but it's taken away by Earl Medina. Edding to Torres. Torres pulls back, sends it out to Edding. The pick from Jonah. Edding against Stevens. Edding attacks the lane. And that's going to be another foul on the Fighting Maroons this period. That's going to be their second team foul. And that's going to be 2 free throws given to Matt Edding. As Noah Pacquiao checks in, replacing Earl Medina. Sean Alter replacing Gani Stevens for UP. So it's Matt Edding at the free throw line. Him, Earl Medina, and Joel Ortango are former Soaring Falcons. So it's good to see some continuity for the Adamson Collegiate Basketball program. As first free throw went in for Matt Edding. He still has one more left in the bag. Jonah gets it back after a miss from Edding. Sahili at the right corner. Baseline drive against Pre. And good defense coming from VJ Pre, forcing a turnover. Although lead is trimmed down to 8 points for UP. So Adamson able to inch closer at least a little bit. It's down to a single-digit game here. Meanwhile, that goes in from downtown. And Remogat makes it an 11-point lead here for the Fighting Maroons. And Matt Edding able to deliver the goods here for Adamson. As we'll check it out one more time. Again, Rey Remogat from downtown, lighting things up from deep. But on the other side of the floor, it's Matt Edding with some damage control. So it's back to a single-digit game. It's very manageable if you're the Soaring Falcons. So bonus freebie coming up for Matt Edding, as Adamson is trailing by 9 points, 49-40, although he will miss that bonus freebie. And VJ Pre will forward it to Jacob Baila on the right side of the arc. Left side attack. No good for Jacob Baila. Everybody going for the basketball. But a whistle coming from our officials. So Barcelona getting called for the foul. So that is the first team foul of the Soaring Falcons this period. Good discipline being showcased here by the Soaring Falcons when it comes to playing defense. But right now it's Remogat and company. Remogat from downtown. That's no good, but Sean Alter out of nowhere putting it back in for the emphatic cleanup job. UP once again with an 11-point lead. Edding almost lost it. Pacquiao outside again to Edding. He's picked up by Miguel Iniguez. The pick from Jonah. Edding outside to Torres. Long two. That won't go in for Torres. Pacquiao getting it back. A foul called on UP. Another look on that Sean Alter emphatic slam. Sean Alter out of nowhere going for plan B. And putting UP up by double digits once again, 51-40. As as we have over 6 minutes left to play in our third quarter. Jonah attacks. Jonah finding a gap in that airtight UP defense. So it's back to a single-digit game. It's a 9-point lead for the Fighting Maroons. And if you're Adamson, you're happy with this momentum, but of course you will have to defend. And just as I say that, it's VJ Pre scoring 2 points once again off that left side attack. Meanwhile, Pacquiao will miss from downtown, and Remogat once again tracking that rebound. Remogat with the basketball. Outside again. Iniguez from downtown. That is no good. Remogat with an offensive board. Ray Remogat doing everything for the UP Fighting Maroons. Remogat almost lost it. Picked up by Alter. Outside it's VJ. And he puts it in. VJ Pre from downtown. And he puts UP up by 14 points. No choice but for Coach Nash Rosella and the Adamson Soaring Falcons to call a timeout. The lead was trimmed down to 8 points for UP, but a lot of things happened, including that VJ Pre 3 from that right wing. As we have more than 5 minutes remaining in our third quarter, stay tuned for more NSAC basketball action. Back inside the UP Diliman Varsity Training Center. Again, it's VJ Pre from downtown putting it in. Off that right wing triple. Putting UP up by 14 points. And just when Adamson thought they were inching closer to the Fighting Maroons, VJ Pre reminds them of his presence. So Jarl Artango and company will try to make some damage control here. As Artango gets it from Perez. Artango goes left. Left wing pass. Pacquiao from downtown. That rolls out of the rim. Perez gets it back. Artango tries from deep. Still nothing for Adamson. As that goes out, unfortunately, possession will stay with the Soaring Falcons. But Coach Nash not happy with that sequence. Earl Medina replaces Noah Pacquiao. Adamson will have a chance to trim down this 14-point deficit. Alan Perez the fake. And Alan Perez able to fish for a foul against James Payosing. So that's 2 free throws coming up for the big Alan Perez. So that's going to be the 5th team foul of UP. They're over the limit. Meanwhile, Adamson only committing 1 team foul so far in our third chapter. So far, UP scoring 12 points in this period compared to Adamson's 9 points. So Adamson not far off, but again, against a UP team like this one, they cannot afford to commit even the smallest of mistakes, because I'm sure that will bite them in the back. Meanwhile, Barcelona, good anticipation. Adamson will try to take advantage as Erolon has it against Iniguez. Outside it's Artango. Right side pass, Barcelona, the handoff to Medina. It's back with Artango. Shot clock at 9 for Adamson. Artango gives it up to Medina, back to Jarl. Artango going to work against a much bigger Noruka. The spin, the fade, and a foul committed by UP just before the shot clock expires. In attendance is no other than Terence Forte, of course, a well-known figure in a UP Fighting Maroons basketball history. Played his last season for UP. just recently and is now playing professional basketball in the Philippines. But right now it's Jarl Artango shooting free throws here. First one will bounce in for the former baby Falcon of Adamson. Second free throw coming up for Jarl Artango. Recently played for the juniors team of Adamson in the UAAP 3x3 tournament. As Adamson will score 2 points off that perfect trip coming from Artango. So it's down to an 11-point game. Adamson not far off, but they will have to defend this UP possession. Payosing steps out of bounds, so that's good defense being showcased by the Adamson Soaring Falcons. And a chance once again to trim down this 11-point lead to just a single-digit deficit. As Gab Ubusan checks in for Adamson. Replacing Joshua Barcelona. Artango manning the point guard spot for the Adamson Soaring Falcons, defended by Russell Ogana. The rookie getting tested here. Ubusan hands it off to Erolon, but we have a double foul. Ogana once again getting called for a foul. The fourth foul on Russell Ogana. So it was Artango and Ogana going at it. Again, Ogana initially hounding Jarl Artango, really testing the rookie. So play will continue here as Adamson having this possession. 9 to shoot for them. Erolon gives it up to Artango. The pick from Perez. Artango once again against Noruka. Artango step back, 3, no good. Picked up by Ogana. Gives it up to Payosing. James Payosing unable to score in transition. Adamson once again with a chance to trim down this 11-point deficit. Erolon unable to find his teammate. Ogana attacks. Ogana missing at the doorstep, but good thing VJ Pre was there for the putback. And VJ Pre once again making things happen for the Fighting Maroons. An official 20-point game for him. Again, Ogana missing at the doorstep. But VJ Pre against 3 Soaring Falcons, able to get that rebound and put it in, plus a foul. So bonus freebie coming up for VJ Pre as RV Poyos checks back in for UP, replacing Ray Remogat. VJ Pre at the free throw line. Again, so far has 20 points. I'll make it 21 with that free throw. So just like that, it's a 14-point game once again. Just when Adamson thought they were inching closer to the Fighting Maroons, VJ Pre makes things worse. Artango has it. Poyos against Artango. Medina this time. The handoff to Ubusan. Back to Artango. The screen from Jonah. Artango back to Ubusan. Shot clock at 6 for the white shirts. Medina contested triple. No good. And it was Ogana tracking down that rebound. Noruka. No good. Good defense from the young Precious Jonah. That's going to turn the ball over back to Adamson. Edding checks back in, replacing the rookie Jarl Artango. So it's back to a 14-point game as we have over 3 minutes left to play in our third chapter. Edding bringing it down against the pesky RV Poyos. Edding able to cross half court, looking for a teammate. He will attack instead. Drops it off to Jonah. Possession will stay with Adamson after it was tapped away by Noruka. 10 seconds left in the shot clock for Adamson. As Torres has it at the baseline. Searching for a teammate, gives it up to Jonah. Precious Jonah losing it. And a foul will be called on UP. So penalty freebies will be given to the Soaring Falcons. As UP is already in the penalty situation. So Precious Jonah will be shooting 2 free throws here. And again, Adamson will have to score points however and wherever they can. Unfortunately, that first free throw for Jonah did not go in. One more free throw coming up for Precious Jonah, as it's a 14-point lead here for the UP Fighting Maroons. Second free throw here for Jonah. He'll go 0 out of 2. So hopefully Adamson will not regret stacking up some missed free throws at the end of the game. Meanwhile, Prem misses, but Naruka was there for the cleanup job. Again, Coach Nash not happy with that Adamson defense, as right now lead is ballooned to 16 points. Torres, back to Edding, back to Torres on the right side. Naruka on him. This time it's Edding against Poyos. Edding almost lost it. Outside dish to Medina for 3. Off the back iron, rebound by Poyos. UP in transition. Naruka colliding bodies with Matt Edding. We have a foul called on Adamson. So that's going to be the last foul to give of Adamson this period. As we'll take another look in this sequence. Again, BJ Prem missing that reverse lay-in, but it was Francis Naruka scoring. And then on the other side, or on the same side, it was Naruka drawing a foul for the UP Fighting Maroons. Meanwhile, Ogana fading away. No good on the baseline jumper. Here comes Torres and company. Torres tapped away by Poyos. And the pesky RV Poyos continues to showcase his airtight defense. Meanwhile, a big body Kobe Dimisana checks in for Coach Nash Racela. Hopefully he can provide some defense here. But right now, Adamson on the offensive side of the floor. Dimisana at the left elbow. Searches for Matt Edding. Edding crosses over Naruka. Edding lays it up, denied by Palanca. Obusan outside of Edding. Torres for 3. That is short for Ray Allen Torres. As Payosing brings it down for UP. To the left side, it's Ogana from downtown. That is no good. A bullet dodged here by Adamson as they almost turned the ball over again. Jonah, good defense coming from Migs Palanca. And the bench of UP in great disbelief after that call coming from UP. So penalty freebies will be given to Adamson as we'll take another look. Again, Palanca initially blocking that shot a while ago. Almost a steal that time from UP. And a foul was called on Migs Palanca as the free throw is missed by Precious Jonah. And again, most of the time these missed free throws bite the team in the back at the end of the game. Second free throw here for Precious Jonah. The home court crowd of UP is screaming. And that's enough to distract Precious Jonah and make him miss 2 free throws. Or in fact 4 free throws as he went empty as well on his last trip. Ogana outside. The pick from Palanca. Russell Ogana outside to Payosing. Payosing puts one up. That is no good. Adamson able to defend UP that time around. Edding outside. Erolon outside to Demisana. Obusan inside to Jonah. He's backing down Naruka. The teardrop won't go in for Precious Jonah. And the UP crowd cheers for that miss as Poyos has it. Poyos, lightning quick, scoring 2 points at the break is RV Poyos. But Jonah with some damage control answering back with his own 2 points. But it's still a 16-point lead here. Meanwhile, Noruka tries a triple off the back iron. Obusan gets it for Adamson. Obusan on the left side gives it up to Matt Edding. Adamson will take their time. We have 14 seconds left on the clock in our third quarter. Edding against Noruka. Gives it up to Erolon. Matt Erolon sends it out. Obusan loses it. And a foul called on UP. So Payosing getting called for that foul. So 2 free throws given here for Gab Obusan. Again, UP up by 16 points. First free throw is in for Gab Obusan. Three seconds remaining in our third quarter. Second free throw here for Gab Obusan. Adamson scoring a total of 15 points so far in our third quarter compared to 19 of UP. As Obusan will go 1 out of 2. The heave from Poyos. Almost, but not quite. As the crowd reacts. But nonetheless, it's a 15-point lead being earned by the Fighting Maroons at the end of our third quarter after 30 minutes of action. 63-48. And hold on to your seats. Again, we still have 10 minutes of action left in this last game of our round of 16 phase in the National Student Athletes Championship 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour. You're still tuning in to the National Student Athletes Championship 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour. And we're heading in a few moments to the fourth and final quarter of our final game of the round of 16 phase. Again, UP leading by a big 15 points after 30 minutes of action. But with how Adamson has played, they've been able to tough things out at least for a couple of sequences. And the lead was trimmed down by 8 points at some point in the third quarter. So safe to say they have what it takes, but they have to be consistent. And of course, it's going to be easier said than done. As we take a look at our crowd here in the home court of the UP Fighting Maroons, here in the UP Diliman Varsity Training Center in Quezon City. So expect them to have some loud roars as we head into the fourth and final chapter. So first possession of our fourth period belonging to RV Poyos and company. Meanwhile, Payosing gives it up to Alter up top. Back to Payosing against Orolon. Payosing sends it outside. Palanca for 3. That is no good. Payosing gets it back. Tried to send it inside, but James Payosing gets it back once again for UP. Shot clock at 6. Left side pass. Poyos from downtown. He puts it in. RV Poyos showcasing some range. And he makes it an 18-point lead for UP. What a way to start the fourth quarter for the Fighting Maroons. Artango almost lost it. Artango against Poyos. That's no good for Jarl Artango. Well defended by Poyos that time around. As Briones, quick fire 3. No good for Chico Briones. Tried to get it back. But possession will go to the Adamson Soaring Falcons as we'll take a look at this RV Poyos left wing triple against the rookie Artango. making him pay for sagging off. So Ray Remoga checks back in for UP. It's an 18-point lead for the Fighting Maroons. And Adamson will try to trim things down here, but we have a backcourt violation. Artango arguing that his defender touched the ball last. So it looks like Coach Nash will try to challenge that call as he's talking to our table officials. So he will ask for a replay. Oh, wait a minute. So it looks like the challenge won't go through, and UP will continue with this possession. Briones. Oh, called for a traveling violation. So looks like Adamson will get the possession back anyway, as they're down by 18 points. It's a big lead for UP. And at this point of the game, I'm sure Adamson have that sense of urgency. So Edding and company will try to trim things down here slowly but surely. As Edding crosses over, hands it off to Demisana. Outside to Erolon for three. No good for the Soaring Falcons. They needed that one. As Payosing has it. The screen from Alter. Payosing attacks right. Lays it up, but not in. Although Sean Alter was there again for plan B. So it's now an official 20-point lead for the homeowners, the UP Fighting Maroons, as we have 2 minutes passing by our fourth quarter. Edding against Alter. Edding, the spin, the shot. That's off. As Briones gets it, ends up with Palanca. Remoga, quick fire three. Goes out of the rim. Palanca tried to put it back in, but Adamson will get this possession. Edding steps on the brakes. Settles for a mid-range straightaway, and that goes in. So Edding scoring 2 points off that break. It's down to an 18-point lead. It's still a big lead, but let's see if that's a sign of good things to come for Adamson. Remogat inside the paint, puts one up, goes out of the rim. Alter gets it back. Alter once again cleaning things up for UP. Alter right now with 13 points in this game, along with 8 rebounds in a single dime. As right now it's Pacquiao. Erolon using the pick from Tumaning. Pacquiao from deep. And that rattles home for Noah Pacquiao. Much needed production for the Adamson Soaring Falcons. Our score is 70-53, a 17-point lead for UP. Remogat gives it up to Alter. Sean Alter looking for a ball handler. He finds Payosing. Payosing against Edding. He sends it out. Briones getting fouled. And that is a downstairs foul called on Adamson. So that's going to be the first team foul of Adamson this period. So we have a couple of substitutions here for the UP Fighting Maroons. I believe it's Pre and Sean Franco checking in. Pre with the fake. Steps into a long two, and that goes in for VJ Pre. So that long two puts UP up by 20 points again. Erolon hands it off to Medina. This time it's Pacquiao. Adamson with good ball movement. Medina on the left side. He's against Alter. Taken away. Briones hustles for it. Chico Briones gives it up to Sean Franco. Outside to Chico Briones. Back to Remogat. He'll fire a three. That is off the mark. But somehow, someway, Sean Franco reclaims it for UP. Pre inside. Sean Alter with a throwdown. And Sean Alter with 15 big points in this game, along with 8 rebounds. It has been that kind of game for the gritty Sean Alter. And no choice but for Coach Nash to call a timeout here as he's down by 21 points with under 6 minutes remaining in our fourth quarter. Back inside the UP Diliman Varsity Training Center. Again, Sean Alter with an emphatic throwdown of that beautiful handoff coming from VJ Pre. Talk about the connection of the newcomer to a mainstay in that UP Fighting Maroon squad. Again, Sean Alter with 15 points in this game along with 8 rebounds. One of the many reasons why UP is up by 21 points as of now. And Matt Erolon will bring it down. The blitz on Matt Erolon. And he gives it up to Zahili. Pacquiao, open 3. He puts it in. So lead is trimmed down to 18 points. It's still a big lead for UP, but we only have more than 5 minutes remaining in our fourth quarter. Adamson will have to be consistent. Remogat against Zahili. A jump ball call coming from our officials, and possession will go to the Soaring Falcons. So that's good backcourt defense from Zahir Zahili and the Adamson Soaring Falcons. Again, it's an 18-point lead for the Fighting Maroons. Another chance for UP, or for Adamson, to trim things down as we see a substitution here. L.A. Andres will replace Sean Alter. And the crowd here at the UP Diliman Varsity Training Center going wild. Erolon hands it off to Noah Pacquiao. Up top, it's Barcelona. He hands it off to Matt Erolon. As Erolon gives it up, he gets it back. Andres on him. Erolon having a hard time. Inside Barcelona to Zahili, denied by VJ Pre. That was good ball movement from Adamson, but even better awareness coming from VJ Pre, denying that shot of Joshua Barcelona. Or correction, Zahir Zahili, but right now Adamson will have a redo here. They have 1.3 seconds remaining. No good at that alley-oop attempt. Remogat to the cutting Andres, but it's taken away by Noah Pacquiao, although it's reclaimed by Ray Remogat and UP. VJ Pre gives it up to Sean Franco. Inside to VJ. What a play for the Fighting Maroons. Effortless two-man game for UP. So it's back to a 20-point game. But we have a call here. So Sean Franco getting called for a foul here. So Sean Franco and Josh Coronel entering the game here for UP. 17 to shoot here for Adamson. They're down by a big 20 points. Barcelona hands it off to Jarl Artango. And we have another whistle. Once again called on UP. That's going to be their second team foul of our fourth quarter. Fighting Maroons bench having some fun here as they have an enjoyable lead of 20 points. Of course, I'm sure they're happy to see their teammates like L.A. Andres and Josh Coronel seeing some playing time. Meanwhile, Pacquiao from downtown. That's too short for him as Coronel able to grab that rebound and secure UP this possession. Sean Franco steps back, finds Andres. Backing down Zahili. Andres gives it up to Remogat. Back to Andres. Andres trying to find an opening, but Adamson really hounding Andres that time around, and Adamson will earn this possession. Here comes Artango. Pacquiao inside to Barcelona. Artango, no good on the long two. And Andres pulling down that rebound. Taken away by Jarl Artango. Adamson right now with a chance to make things happen. Artango inside to Barcelona. But that pass was too strong. Remogat and company with a comfortable 20-point lead. What a fake from Remogat, and swishes that right elbow jumper. Ray Remogat so far with 10 points in this game, along with 8 rebounds and 7 dimes. All-around performance for Ray Remogat. But we have a foul called here on Josh Coronel. That's going to be the 13th foul of UP this period. They'll have one more foul to give. Right now it's Josh Barcelona at the free throw line, as Adamson is down by 22 points, and time is not necessarily on their side. They have over 3 minutes remaining to trim down this lead. It's down to 21 points. First free throw goes in for Josh Barcelona. Second free throw here for Josh Barcelona. And he goes 1 out of 2. So it's a 21-point lead here for RV Poyos and the UP Fighting Maroons, as Poyos has it against de Guzman. Andres outside again, it's Poyos. The screen from Andres. Swings it to VJ Pre. VJ going to work. Poyos thought about the three. He will attack, he will send it inside. What a play for the Fighting Maroons. Newcomer to newcomer connection. Adamson right now trying to figure things out on offense. It has been a struggle for them. Artango getting tested here. And that's a foul on RV Poyos. And again, you can see the disbelief on the faces of the UP bench players. But this time around, it was VJ Pre sinking that reverse lane off that beautiful inside dish coming from RV Poyos. And right now, it's a 23-point lead for the UP Fighting Maroons. Again, time is not on the side of the Soaring Falcons as we're nearing the 2-minute mark of our game. De Guzman to Obusan, right side attack. Obusan back to De Guzman. Shot clock at 9 for Adamson. And that's going to be an off-the-mark pass. Pass was too high. I believe that was intended for Jarl Artango. But that pretty much sums up the game for Adamson. Not really the best shooting game for them. The likes of Ray Allen Torres, Noah Pacquiao, Matt Edding really tried to find their footing, but the defense of UP really just hounding them. Safe to say the Fighting Maroons did their homework before our matchup today. Again, this is the last matchup of our round of 16 before we proceed to the quarterfinals. As RV Poyos goes to work off that step back elbow jumper. Make it a 25-point lead for UP. As we're down to the last 2 minutes of our game, De Guzman unable to hit from downtown. So I'm sure UP will try to burn some time here as they have a very comfortable lead. It looks like they will first execute a play here. Andres will try from downtown, and he hits! And the crowd goes wild. Again, I'm sure the crowd of UP, his teammates as well, is happy to see L.A. Andres see some minutes. After, of course, limited minutes the past UAAP season 88. But this time, it's Zahir Sahili stealing a basket here. And a chance to make it a 3-point play for Adamson. But again, it's a big lead for UP here as we have over a minute left. So bonus freebie coming up for Zahir Sahili. as that is his second basket of the game. And Sahili will complete that three-point play. So far he has 5 points in this one, but right now I believe UP will just burn some time here and execute the necessary plays. Oh, what an acrobatic move coming from Migs Enriquez, adding more damage. And again, that has been the kind of game from the Soaring Falcons. Not the most efficient game for them, and a lot of turnovers. But of course, we have to credit the defense of the UP Fighting Maroons this game. Both backcourt and inside defense was phenomenal for the Fighting Maroons. And the offensive side of the floor, they've been able to generate 21 assists compared to 13 of Adamson. And perhaps the biggest category of them all, the rebounding department. 55 rebounds so far from UP compared to 36 only of Adamson. Not to mention 8 blocks coming from UP compared to 0 of Adamson. So both on the offensive and defensive side of the floor, Adamson was unable to match the product that UP has been putting out. So there you have it as the clock expires and as the buzzer sounds. That's going to conclude the last game of our round of 16 phase for the NSAC 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour. 87-60 UP with the win here. And our Reyes Barbecue rebounder of the game. It's Francis Naruka with 8 rebounds. But for our best player of the game, it's the guy who's donning the jersey number 15, the newcomer Francis VJ Pre, with 27 big points, 8 rebounds, and 2 dimes, giving us a snippet of what kind of season he's gonna have come season 89. Our final score, 87-60. A big win here for the UP Fighting Maroons. Again, this is our last game of the round of 16 phase, and UP will be facing the NU Bulldogs in our quarterfinals phase, as you can see in our bracket here. And it's going to be our next game day, Saturday, May 16, 2026. It's going to be held in the De La Salle College of St. Benilde Sports and Dorm Complex in Taft Avenue. So our college basketball campus tour this time will visit the Taft side of things. So here goes your matchups: UP-NU, Letran San Beda, UST Ateneo, and La Salle FAU. So those should be a great couple of games. So for the collegiate basketball fans out there, better stay tuned. A lot of well-anticipated games next weekend in Taft Avenue. Again, UP able to wrap things up here for our round of 16. Able to get the win in their home court. That's going to wrap things up for our quadruple header today. On behalf of our production team and in behalf of everybody who made this tournament possible, my name is Cholo Pangilinan, saying thank you very much for tuning in to the National Student Athletes Championship 2026 College Basketball Campus Tour.